Elias Wren had forgotten almost everything from his childhood on Horizon 3. The snow-glass trees, the low violet skies, and most of all the strange little companion who used to follow him over the dunes. He remembered only shadows, laughter carried by cold winds, someone tugging at his coat, a soft voice promising, "I will wait." But when he left the colony at age 9 after the collapse of the terraforming program, the evacuation shuttle severed his life in two. His memories of that planet faded as if the distance between stars had swallowed them. He grew up on Earth, became a xenobotanist, and lived a quiet, orderly life. Until the night an alien ship descended through the cloud cover over New Sol, humming with energy that rattled the windows of the Biodome Research Center where Elias worked. The world panicked. Militaries scrambled jets. Traffic froze. But the ship did not attack. It waited, silent, enormous, a floating temple of glass and spiraling metal. Then a message arrived, not through radio, but through every mind on Earth. "We seek Elias Wren." The name echoed across the planet. Elias' heart stuttered. He had never told anyone about Horizon 3. It had been a failed colony buried in bureaucratic archives. Yet something old and half-forgotten stirred inside him. When authorities dragged him to the landing site, he expected interrogation, fear, maybe even imprisonment. Instead, the ship opened like a blooming flower. Warm, shimmering air enveloped him, and a figure stepped forward. She was tall, lithe, and radiant, skin like pale nebula stone, eyes the deep blue of Horizon's dusk. Her hair flowed like strands of silver water. Humans gasped. Soldiers raised weapons. But she saw only Elias, and she smiled. "Eli," she whispered, voice trembling. "You grew." His breath caught. A memory, sharp and sudden, pierced the fog of decades. A small alien girl chasing him across crystal dunes, her laughter ringing like wind chimes. "Lyra." Her eyes glowed brighter. "You remember." Before he could respond, she closed the distance and placed a hand against his cheek in the same innocent, familiar gesture she used as a child. "I told you I would wait. My people do not break promises." Elias stepped back, stunned. "Lyra, I was a child. I didn't know what I was saying." "You promised to marry me," she said simply. "And I have come to fulfill the oath." A wave of stunned murmurs washed through the human crowd. Cameras flashed. World leaders whispered frantically. Elias felt heat rise to his face. He remembered now. On Horizon 3, human children and alien children played freely. They didn't grasp the weight of promises. One night, after she saved him from getting lost in a storm, he told her, "When we're older, I'll marry you, so we can stay together forever." He had meant it with the earnestness of a 9-year-old. He never imagined she would take it as a vow. Inside the alien ship, the atmosphere shifted. The walls glowed faintly with responsive light. The air hummed with a comforting resonance that reminded Elias of home. Lyra walked beside him, her steps graceful, her presence warm. "You left without saying goodbye," she said, trying and failing to hide the old hurt in her voice. "I didn't choose to leave," Elias replied softly. The colony collapsed. Humans were ordered out. Lyra lowered her head. "I searched for you. For years I searched among the star paths." A pang of guilt struck him. He had lived a quiet life. She had spent decades chasing a forgotten promise. "Lyra, why come now?" "Because Horizon 3 is dying," she said. "And you are the only one who can help." He froze. "Me? I was a child there. I don't know anything." "You do," she insisted, stopping in front of a shimmering crystalline console. "Your presence, your memory, your genetic signature. The terraforming machines were linked to colonist descendants. The code still carries your imprint. Elias stared at her. You crossed the galaxy because the planet needs me? And because I need you, she added quietly. His chest tightened. Lyra had waited decades with a devotion he didn't think possible. He saw now the toll of it in her eyes, hope and fear entwined. Will you come with me? She asked. Will you help us save our world? Elias thought of Earth, its safety, familiarity, the career he'd built. And he thought of Orizon, the world he had loved as a child, abandoned but never fully extinguished in his heart. Yes, he said finally. But not because of a childhood promise. Because it matters. Lyra's smile returned, soft and shimmering. That is enough. The journey to Orizon 3 was swift. When the ship emerged from warp, Elias gasped. The once shimmering world was dimmed, its skies murky, its crystal forests fractured. The planet he remembered was fading like an old memory. Lyra led him to a buried control chamber beneath the surface. The machines, ancient human terraforming engines fused with alien bioarchitecture, flickered weakly. The energy matrix pulsed irregularly, like a dying heartbeat. This system recognized you the moment you arrived, she said. Only you can restore the connection. Elias approached the interface. Lights surged, scanning him, reading the encoded imprint from his childhood days when colonists had linked their biosignatures to the systems. The machine's voice, old, metallic, and fading, whispered. User recognized. Initiate stabilization. Elias exhaled. Do it. The chamber filled with light. Interfaces responded, climate engines whirred to life, and crystal growth lattices reactivated. The dying planet inhaled, as if waking from a long coma. But then the console sparked violently. Lyra cried out. A surge of unstable energy lashed out, and Elias threw himself in front of her, shielding her with his body. He felt the shock burn through him. When the light faded, he collapsed. Lyra knelt beside him, shaking. Eli! Eli, stay! Her tears glimmered on his skin. He forced a faint smile. Looks like I'm still keeping my promises. Do not speak, she pleaded. You saved our world. Let us save you. Her people carried him to a healing chamber, where bioluminescent liquid cradled him. Hours, maybe days, passed in drifting consciousness. When he awoke, Lyra was there, watching over him. You're alive, she whispered, relief washing over her like sunlight. Elias tried to sit up. Is the planet stabilizing? You saved millions. She hesitated, then added more softly. And you saved me. He met her gaze. No longer the eyes of a child's friend, but of someone who had crossed galaxies for him. Lyra, he said gently, about that promise. She looked down. If you wish to release it, I will accept it. I want your happiness more than anything. Elias reached out, lifting her chin. I don't remember the boy who made that promise. But the man I am now. He chooses you. Not because of the past, but because of who you are. Her breath caught. You mean it? Yes, he said simply. I choose you. Lyra let out a trembling laugh, radiant with joy, and pressed her forehead against his, a gesture of her people signifying unity. Outside the healing chamber, Orizon 3 bloomed once more. Crystal forests grew strong, the sky lightened to luminous violet, and for the first time in decades, two old friends, now something far more, walked the healing dunes together. Elias had returned not just to a forgotten world, but to a promise he finally understood. And this time he would never leave.